All right, chatting with Mules head football coach Jim Svoboda. Coach, just wrapped up spring practice, had the spring game on Saturday. What are your thoughts, I guess, just on the spring game itself on Saturday, first of all?
Well, spring game was, was some good on both sides for sure, which you'd like to see. We came out of it relatively injury-free as far as major injuries. In fact, all spring we did, so we're very happy about that. We saw a lot of growth in the team. Saturday was a big day for a lot of guys because, I actually had a few people there, and some of those kids haven't played in front of anybody, and so it was a good it was a good practice run in terms of feeling a little bit of pressure, feeling a little bit of that game day energy and so forth, and really some nice surprises this spring. So all in all, I'm not sure I could be much happier with what we saw and the growth of the team, and really seeing some leadership emerge on the team. It's a pretty exciting time.
A lot of different position battles going on throughout the spring and probably as we move into fall camp, but who are some of the guys that have maybe stood out in spring practice and who've maybe set themselves up to maybe be the number one guy heading into spring at different positions?
Well, we'll just start off with everybody's question, who's the quarterback going to be? Mike Peterson really had a great spring. I'm not sure I've seen the amount of growth out of an individual player. Of course, he was kind of behind the scenes. Mike's been in the program for 2 years, and he's had some pretty good guys to learn from, including, Harlan Hill winner, Eric Cerneski. And so you never quite know how those young guys are going to react if they're tuned in. And, what I saw was he was really tuned in. So Mike did a tremendous job, really knows the offense, and just really took the reins, and it was exciting to see his development and his confidence grow, and the confidence in the players around him. So he had an outstanding spring. Our receiver core we feel really good about. We got some talented kids there that can run. Anthony Kirkwood, Clayton Cooper, those kids really had outstanding springs. Gavin Oddie, our slot receiver, while Ralph Watson is out for track. Gavin played that H spot, did a really nice job for us there. Maybe our deepest position is our tight end position, where we have several players there led by David Cannon, our returning all-conference, all-American player there, who really has taken his game to another level in terms of the physicality. So he's been a good leader with that group. But Cody Woods has been a nice surprise. I say surprise with some of these guys. In the recruiting process, we felt pretty strongly about these kids that we recruited. Cody was a guy that we thought was probably got overlooked a little bit, and is really a talented kid, and he really showed this spring what we thought in terms of the type of player that he was going to be. But we have good depth there. Bryce Murray is back. He's got a lot of playing experience. Sean Gorman, we actually moved from our fullback spot, did a nice job at that position, and some of the young kids as well. So very strong at the tight end spot, which is good. That's always been a very important position for us. And of course, our most experience is on the offensive line, and those guys really picked up where they left off in terms of last year. Mark Schrader, Hewlett King, Logan Freeman, Cody Bowles, all those kids got many starts among them. A year more in the weight room, bigger, stronger. They finally, a number of those guys. A couple of those guys, Logan and Mark Schrader in particular, is really the longest stretch they've gone without some sort of injury and having to recover from surgery and so forth. And so those kids really did a great job. Brian Burzynski is a true freshman. We got him at tackle spot. He was a nice surprise again. Not really surprised, but in terms of how fast he came along. We think he's probably going to be ready to go. Shane Parsons played the other tackle spot, and really did a nice job there. So Elliot Taylor's a kid that's been in a backup role for us. He's really been coming along too. So good depth at that position. First time since this coaching staff has been here, we've actually had some depth on the offensive line and didn't really have to play musical chairs in terms of especially in spring ball. So got a lot of work done there. and you know, feel like we have an extra level of physicality there at that position. So offense, a lot of guys coming back, a lot more depth, characteristic of the team in general. You know, when we look at our testing stuff, and you know, I try to look at, you know, the top 30 in terms of all the, we test in like 12 or 13 different things, and we're a lot more solid in that top 30 group as opposed to just maybe top 10 players. You know, now we're pretty solid in 30 players, and that's probably where most of the guys that you have on your team are going to be playing the most, or out of that group. So off season was very strong, lot more depth, a lot more size in terms of, you know, 6'3" plus guys on the team. Defense, I was really pleased with the defense. They came out of the gate pretty strong this spring, led by our defensive line, guys like David Bax and Deontay McDonald and Adrian Pericone and Latavius Davis. Those kids really did a nice job at the defensive end. We're really strong there. Rico Wilson inside, Ramon Hunter, Reggie Dilworth, really solid players. Probably our physically most impressive group on the team is our defensive linemen. If you just go in the weight room and, you know, on the hoof and what they're doing on the field now too. So you know, really productive spring for those guys. And you know, you don't really do much really as a team. It's kind of as your D-line goes, your team goes in some ways. And so those guys really seeing some leadership out of that group too. A lot of really strong upperclassmen in that group, very hard-working guys. Linebacker spot, we got a lot of experience. One of the things that's been sort of a thorn in our side since I've been here anyway, the last 3 years, is that we really haven't had a lot of consistency at that linebacker spot. We've had some injuries. We've played a lot of different guys there, and so we're trying to establish some consistency, and that's what I think what we did. Colin Hanna had a nice spring. He's a senior. Evan Knight, Joe Carter, these kids are all back, and then we had some young kids really come on and play well this spring. Ricky Spratley's a true freshman. Jordan Keeney's a redshirt freshman. You know, these kids did a really nice job in the spring. So hoping to see some consistency at that spot and have some guys kind of feel at home instead of playing different positions. Those linebacker spots can be a lot different than it seems at times. And those guys did a nice job this spring. Secondary-wise, we're not especially deep there, but we got a lot of experience coming back, led by Pat Lewis, our safety. Pat, again, one of our leaders in the weight room, just one of our leaders in general, and physically impressive kid, and really did a great job in the secondary this spring. Brett Ginn's a kid that brings a lot of experience. He's a year stronger and faster in the weight room. Alexis Reedus at the corner spot, Paul Hughes, all these kids. A lot of starts there with that group. Zach Linebaugh started most of the year last year. So then we got a transfer named Ryan Berry at safety, kind of add some depth at that spot. Connor Smith, who's a redshirt freshman, did a great job for us this spring. So, you know, like I said, we've got some talented kids there. You know, hopefully with what we did this spring and then going into fall, some of those younger guys can kind of bring it along there and add to our depth. But overall, just probably couldn't be happier in terms of the energy with the team, the unity that they're feeling right now. The leadership is starting to emerge, and so it's fun to be a part of right now, and we got a lot of guys that are going to be sticking around this summer, and that's going to be very important. So I think we're about where we want to be. Kids definitely know what's ahead of them in terms of our schedule and the conference, and excited to meet the challenge.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.